Okay, are DK Metcalf's feet going to be in Denver, Colorado? What do you think about this story? We didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday, but this is a household name who has requested a trade out of Seattle. Now, according to John Schneider, general manager, everything is in a very cordial, professional place. Obviously, DK has requested a trade, and we are entertaining that. We are talking to a ton of teams, taking offers, seeing what that looks like, end quote. Are the Broncos one of the ton of teams that they're talking to, you think?
Why would they not be? Now, I'm not saying that something's going to get done because it's going to come down to, are you willing to give up a first and maybe a third if you're the Denver Broncos, which we'll talk about later on. But why would you not be if I'm George Payton? Go out there, listen, learn about it, see if it makes sense, see if it's a good fit, see if what DK Metcalf can bring to the table will help your team out this year, which it will, which it would if you decide to pull the trigger and trade for DK Metcalf. But you're on this. And it's not just saying, hey, I want to be aggressive and I'm ready to make an offer for you. But it's like, let me listen. Let me listen, go back to Sean, go back to my staff, and see if it makes sense, Zach.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. So DK comes in the league in 2019 as a second-round pick coming out of Ole Miss. He's just a creature.
Monster.
He is just a freak. I think that DK, had he focused on another professional sport, like I think DK Metcalf could be Team USA's goalie in soccer. Just massive, covers so much range, and he is just a physical specimen.
Yeah, he's put together. He looks like Hercules.
Yeah,
that's what he looks like.
He does. And the Broncos have been sort of singled out by someone like ESPN's Bill Barnwell, who I have a lot of respect for, not a hot take guy, super informational. This is what he said about the potential pairing.
I look towards the AFC and a team that already has a quarterback that I wrote about in my column today in DK Metcalf, and that is Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. And I just think back to all those great Sean Payton offenses in New Orleans. What did they have? They had a big body who could work the middle of the field. It was Marquise Colston, the Hofstra grad, early on. Jimmy Graham, Michael Thomas. I don't know if the Broncos had that guy last year with Bo Nix. Cortland Sutton's a big player, but not the same physicality a DK Metcalf has. Bo Nix was 25th in the league in passer rating on in-breaking routes last year per the NFL's next-gen stats. Get him that big body while you have Bo Nix on a rookie deal. I think that would make total sense for the Broncos, as, of course, like everyone else in the AFC, they try and chase down the Kansas City Chiefs.
Does this make sense considering what it would cost to get him?
Yeah.
Now, just because Seattle wants a first and a third doesn't mean they're going to get a first and a third, because at first blush, I have to tell you, like, we see a lot of these deals that get done for a fifth-round pick for Deebo Samuel because you have the understanding that you're going to have to turn around and pay that guy a ton of money.
Oh, it happened here with Jerry Jeudy. We thought, hey, Jerry's going to go for maybe a third, and that didn't end up happening early on, and we were like listening to Adam Schefter, and Schefter would come on and say, well, I don't think it's going to be like that, and sometimes we feel like a player's value is more than the general managers are feeling like the value is.
Totally.
And it comes down to, yes, we can acquire this player, but then we usually have to pay him.
Right.
If you're trading for this player, the reason why they're letting this player go is because he's on a one-year deal left, or his contract's almost up, and they're not willing to pay. And so now I have to give up an asset, a draft pick, and then pay this man if we want to keep him here.
Yeah, and think about what you're giving up in terms of the draft pick. You're giving up a young player on a rookie contract for a veteran player who's going to ask for a $100 million deal. I mean, so you're eating up so much cap and removing an asset and a player on a rookie contract is what that draft pick turns into.
And word on the street is DK wants $30 million a year.
That's what I saw. That Diana Rossini, I think I said, say that he is looking for $30 million. $30 million per year. This, for me, I love watching DK Metcalf play. He's an incredible talent, but goodness gracious, between the asking price from Seattle and then the asking price from DK Metcalf and what he's looking for me, it just feels like too much here.
Well, think about it. Think of who's coming into the building. It's DK Metcalf. It's a big-time name, a big-time player. Fast, explosive, playmaker. All right, he's a true receiver one. He's already had 3 years where he went over 1,000 yards receiving. And then the other 3 years, because he's been in the league for 6, the other 3 years almost cracked 1,000 yards in each of those 3 years.
Yeah, he's never been below 900 yards.
And so what you're getting is an explosive receiver one to go with a young rookie quarterback. If you're going to make a move like this, Zach, if you're going to pay a receiver a lot of money, this is the time to do it because you have a second-year quarterback. He's not a rookie anymore. A second-year quarterback. He's on a rookie deal. This is when you start to pay other players to help out with your young quarterback. For example, the San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy. They were able to bring in Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, pay Brandon Ayuk because of Brock Purdy being on that rookie deal.
Yeah. Does this make sense for the Broncos, in your opinion?
Oh, I like it. I like it, Zach. And if we're gonna pay a lot of money, I'm not saying $30 million, but like the $25, $26, $27 million, that's what it would be. I don't know how many people are going to pay DK Metcalf $30 million and give up a first-round draft pick. It's going to be hard to do.
Would you give up the first and the third?
The first and the third? No. But what I'm saying, what I would do is I bring it to the table is like, hey, look, we've done business before. George has done business before with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah. But it's like, hey, we took one for the team for you.
Yeah.
Now you need to help us out.
Yeah.
Maybe a second. I would give up a second and a third.
A second and a third.
Second and a third.
And then you'd be willing to pay him. Let's say he doesn't get his 30. Let's say you settle at 28.
Yes. Second and a third. Pay him. At some point, you got to pay for an elite receiver, right? Or elite player.
Aren't you about to do that with Courtland Sutton?
Well, Court's not going to be there now. I'm willing to part ways with Court.
You didn't say that.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm willing to part ways with my boy.
Okay.
Courtland Sutton. I know it hurts for DK Metcalf, and maybe even I trade Court for DK.
Throw him in the deal.
Yeah. And maybe take the second round off. Like, hey, maybe a third
Courtland
and a fourth.
Sutton, Courtland Sutton, a third and a fifth for DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think about that, sort of reshaping this would-be trade. This is the construct that is currently in place from Seattle's asking price and then Metcalf's asking price. It's just way too much on both fronts.
It's insane.
On both fronts, it doesn't make sense for the Broncos. But if you were willing to do that, man, I'd have to take a step back and reconsider. I'd have to reconsider. Let's put a pin in this one. Circle back to it a little bit later here. I do love those pins. All right. Last night was a night.